Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to my home office, and welcome to the future of this course for the next 4 weeks. So as you know, we're living in strange and unusual times, but we will adapt as best we can with the technology available to us. So in this slideshow, in this PowerPoint, I'm going to run through our new assignment 4 in just the same way I usually run through the assignments in class. So we'll go through everything that's required of you line by line so you know exactly what's going to happen. This is an individual assignment that you'll be doing while also staying very safe at home and using your phones as your camera and editing on your own version of Premiere Pro. We now look at the overview of the assignment. You've been hired to create an infomercial. Using the skills learned in the course, you will work individually to plan, shoot, and edit a 30-second infomercial for a product of your choice. Before you start filming, watch some examples of infomercials for inspiration. Next, select a product from your own home as your product. As you plan your shoot, think about how you can use the tools, techniques from the course to explain your product to the audience. Ensure you end with a clear call to action for your audience, i.e. call now. In addition to submitting on Blackboard, you will upload your video to YouTube and add it to a shared playlist for the class, which I will provide. The overview in a little bit more detail now. So I've highlighted the sentences so we can talk about it. So you've been hired to create an infomercial. Using the skills you learned in the course, you will work individually to plan, shoot, and edit a 30-second infomercial for a product of your choice. So it's very, very simple. Select a product, and it can be absolutely anything that you find around the house. It could be your phone, it could be a book, it could be an item you find in your kitchen, it could be absolutely anything. Just figure out a way to be enthusiastic about it and create an infomercial. I'm going to provide you guys with some examples of infomercials. I'll put links up on Blackboard so you can see what they look like. As you probably know, infomercials get a little cheesy. That's okay. I just want you guys to use your imaginations. I want you to be really creative with what you do. Think about how you could sell a product to your audience using your skill as a videographer and an editor to sell a product. Next, select a product from your home as your product. As you plan to shoot, think about how you can use the tools and techniques from the course to explain your product to the audience. So that goes again into the planning. So think about the product, come up with a really good idea to sell it, and it doesn't have to be serious. It can be funny, it can be crazy. Just do something. I really, really want you guys to stretch yourselves like you were going to with the scene assignment. I really want you guys to try something, do something quirky or interesting. But before you start shooting, you are going to be required to write a script for this. So I will provide you with some of the links of scripts that we looked at in class, some other scripts, so you can see what the format of the script should be. But it's really, really important that you plan out what you're going to say, how you're going to shoot it, and how you're going to edit it before you sit down to make your infomercial. So planning is really, really important. Which I've highlighted in blue. goes to the deliverables, goes to the end of your infomercial and to the deliverables. So ensure you end with a clear call to action for your audience, i.e. call now. In addition to submitting on Blackboard, you will upload your video to YouTube and add it to a shared playlist. So I'll create a YouTube playlist and I'll give you guys instructions on how to upload it so you add it to the class. So I will get one playlist with everybody's assignment in it. But before you do that, ensure you end with a clear call to action. So you'll notice that almost every infomercial ends with call now and you'll get 10% off, or it's only $19.99 plus postage and packing, and you call this number, you go online at this place, you send away to this address, etc., etc. So it's really important that your infomercial looks, sounds, smells exactly like an infomercial, and to do that you really want to have the call to action at the end. So included in your 30 seconds, there should be a little moment at the end where you say, call this number, go to this website, send away to this address. So that's the call to action. Okay, when you're submitting your final assignment, the paperwork will go to Blackboard and the final video will go to the YouTube playlist. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the portal is open on Blackboard for submissions. What I would like is to see is to stagger some of the deliverables like we were going to do with the previous assignment 4. So what I would like to do is see your script and your storyboard and your picture of your product before I see your videos. So I'm going to change the due date on the paperwork. So you'll create your paperwork, that's your script and your storyboard, before you shoot your video. So that'll happen later today, just because I want to give you guys an opportunity to create all that stuff, get feedback, and then create your video. Okay? So for your deliverables, your paperwork is now a photograph of the product. So just take a nice, really clear, well framed, well lit photograph of whatever your product is. Also use your phone to do that. And submit a script and a storyboard. So a script, as we went through in class, is presented in Courier New Font, 12 point, right? We have a slug line at the top that tells us where we are. So interior, kitchen, day. We have a little bit of what we call business, which describes the scene, and then dialogue is centered with the character name above it. I will provide you guys with examples of the scripts we looked at in class, and I will give you guys the template that's available on Word. It's available both on the 2013 version of Office and the 2019 version. So just do your very best to make the script look like it's in proper format. Don't worry too much about how the margins are spaced if you don't have the template, but at least write it out in Courier New Font and center the dialogue. I'll also provide you guys with the template for the storyboard, the one that I used, which is 6 little windows, little frames that you can draw your storyboards into. For an infomercial, your storyboards are not going to be that overly complicated. One frame of your actor, which will be probably standing in front of a counter or a table, and a nice mid shot, and then close-ups of whatever the product is. I'll provide you guys with some examples, but basically that's your paperwork, a script and a storyboard. So like I said, I'm going to adjust the due dates because I want to see that stuff before I see your video, so I can see what you guys are doing, and I want to stagger the deliverables, just to give you guys more time to work this out and figure out what you're going to do. And also writing your script and creating your storyboards will give you the opportunity to work out any kinks that might come up during your planning stages. Okay, so that will be that. So for as far as the video goes, now we get to the fun stuff. The project must contain an example of 2 of the following shots: an extreme close-up, a medium shot, over the shoulder, or cutaway, or an insert. So as this is an infomercial, your easiest to comply to this is include a medium shot of your speaker and a cutaway or an insert of your product. That's going to be the standard format for an infomercial anyway, but we talked about all those shots in class. Pick the ones that you think are going to be most doable for your product and your infomercial. We also want to see a smooth pan. Remember, a pan is side to side. If you go up and down, it's a tilt, so a pan only goes from left to right. Okay, smooth. If you're going to be doing it with your phone, you want to use really, really steady hands. Place your phone on a surface. If you don't have a tripod obviously is the best way to do it. But put your phone on a flat surface. Make sure it sits properly, or you have somebody with a very steady hand. Correct focus, exposure, and light balance, of course, goes without saying. Proper lighting, ambient sound, and dialogue will be recorded on all shots using the on-camera microphone. So since you're going to be using your phone for this assignment, you really want to make sure you're in a room that is absolutely 100% as quiet as possible. The on-camera microphone on your phone is going to be very, very sensitive. It's going to pick up every tiny little microscopic sound that happens. So you really, really, really want to make sure you're very, very quiet and that your subject speaks in a clear, loud voice, and that they are as close to the camera as possible, framing permitting. Okay, I'm not going to be too anal about what you guys do with sound. I know it's extenuating circumstances, but we do need to hear what's being said. A minimum of 2 transitions, so a fade up and a fade down. I'm going to post some tutorials on Premiere Pro. We were going to go through that in class in 2 weeks, but obviously we won't be in class. So I'm going to post some tutorials so we can talk about what can be done in Premiere Pro. A superimposed title over a clip in white letters. So again, just like the interview, the easiest thing to do there is to put your speaker's name down in lower thirds. So you have a spokesman for your infomercial, just tell us who it is with their name at the bottom of the screen, and a call to action that instructs the viewer with next steps. So that is call now, call this number, get on this website, right away to this address. We talked about that before, but that's very important for an infomercial. So it should end with the price of the product and how your audience can get their hands on it. So we have a couple of notes on the assignment. The assignment can be completed using your phone and yourself as the actor. If you are unable to get access to the best equipment for the project, cameras and microphones, how can you make the best with what you have? So this is really about making the best of the situation we're in. But some of the best and most original videos and films come about because the filmmakers and videographers have to improvise. So if you're at home with your phone, what can you do with the limited equipment that you have? Just try stuff. Do the best with what you can. Use your phone. Use its microphone. Use its filters. Use its potential for editing. Whatever. Just do something original and creative with your phone. Try things. Be inventive. That's really, really important. The purpose of the assignment, of course, is to showcase your understanding and knowledge of the tools and techniques of video production. Focus on the assignment to show your technical abilities. So don't worry about your acting abilities. Obviously, this isn't an acting course. But I really, really want you guys to just understand the possibilities of what you can actually do with video production. You can do the coolest, most original, interesting, creative stuff with very, very, very minimal equipment. Your phone has an amazing camera on it. You've got an imagination. Do something cool and clever. That is what I want to see here. Don't worry too much about the technicalities um, of that. I just want to see you guys do something cool, original, and unique. Show me your voice as a storyteller. Remember, we talked about in class last week about how Christopher Nolan shows us the Joker in that scene, what he does with the Joker, what the Coen brothers do with Walter and the Dude, and how they shows them as characters. That's really, really, really important. Okay, I want to see your voice as storytellers. So this is just our technical requirements for the submission. So it should be 1280 by 720 standard, phone video size, saved as an MP4. So that'll just make it easier to upload to YouTube. So when you finish editing, export it as an MP4 in the technical settings. It should be 30 seconds long. Don't worry if it's not exactly 30 seconds long. If you go over by a second or two, I'm not going to be harsh about that, but just aim for it to be 30 seconds. And when you upload your paperwork, it should be one document with your picture, your storyboard, and your script in it. So start with your picture so I know what the product is, the script so I know what you're going to be saying about it, and then your storyboard so I know how you're going to be shooting it. I can just scroll through it. Your script shouldn't really be longer than at the most 2 pages. Most people should be able to include everything in 1 page. If it is longer than 2 pages, that's okay, but you should be aiming for about 2 pages. Your storyboard should probably be close to 6 or 7 shots, so you might need to use two of the pages that I'm going to give you. That's fine, but your document really shouldn't be longer than 5 pages. 1 PDF that I can just scroll through and see all the work you've put in. Please, please, please do me a favor and include a cover page with the course code, the date, the assignment, your name on it. I know you're going to be submitted on Blackboard anyway, but you just really need to get into the habit of putting a cover page on all your assignments with your course code and the assignment and your name. Okay, so like we talked about before, please do that. It's just good practice, and it looks a lot better and more professional than just handing in a haphazard document with no information. Obviously your script is in proper format, so it will have a cover page, which will be the title, so whatever your product is and your name, because you're going to be the writer. So that doesn't include the 2 pages, so 2 pages script and a title page. So just make sure you get into the habit of putting everything in the proper format. It's really, really important that you do that you show things properly. So those are your technical requirements for the assignment. Like I said, I'm going to want to see your paperwork before I see your video, so I'm going to adjust the due dates based on that, and then we will go from there. So good luck with the assignment. Have fun with it. Do something interesting, and I look forward to seeing them.